Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that have shaped their lives, inviting us all to reflect and grow together. Today we're joined by Reino Gevers, an inspiring author and speaker whose journey has taken him from the vibrant landscape of South Africa to the serene parts of the Camino de Santiago. With a rich background in journalism and a passion for holistic well-being, Reino empowers others to embrace their true purpose and live authentically. Let's take a moment to walk alongside Reino and discover the wisdom that has touched his heart.
Okay.
Okay. Tell us your name and what you do.
Okay, I'm Reino Gevers. I was born and raised in South Africa. I left my home country in my early 20s when we were forced to go into military conscription and go to a war in Angola. I lived in Germany for many years, working for a news agency, and then made the transition into consultancy and writing as an author since 2010. And I've been living in Spain for the past 8 years.
Well, thank you for accepting my invitation to be a guest on the podcast.
Great to be with you.
What's your favorite quotes, Reino?
My favorite quotes. Well, there's quite a few, and some of them have found their way into my new book, and I would sort of just mention one, which I don't know where it came from, but it basically sums up the message I have in my book, which is where there's a conversation between two people, and the quote is, "Spirituality is surely liberated from the institution that is the church. Religion dictates specific behaviors, while the spiritual is an open invitation to the experiential and the divine."
Can you break it down for me?
Yes, this is the I think the crucial issue we are facing globally at the moment, where there's a difference, a polarization between belief and ideology, and the freedom of the individual to decide what am I really, what is my authentic self, and what do I believe in. So the social media out there is telling everyone, this is how you should be, this is how you should look. And in that process, we're losing our divine authenticity. Every individual is different, and every individual has a divine purpose. That is what I firmly believe in and strongly believe in. And I think diversity is a divine principle. That's why if we just go out for a walk in nature and just become aware of what is out there in nature, we see different flowers, we see different plants, we see many different birds, we see many different trees. So diversity is a creative principle.
Yeah.
And I think if we come to realize that, there's a lot of freedom in that. But what is happening in the world throughout history is that there is an institution, a king, a ruler, a pope, who says, this is what you should believe. And now in our modern world, it's more subtle. It comes from the force of social media, which is trying to tell you what to believe in. And mostly it comes from triggering emotions, triggering fundamental emotions like anger, like hate, like fear.
Okay. I would love for us to double down on the quotes you filled when you booked a time for this meeting. Can you still remember it? I think it's a poem by, is it Invictus or something like that? I'm the captain of my of my yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Invictus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we can. It's a very short interview, so we just pair it with this quote you just shared. I won't really use the word pair, but you shared this quote, but I want us to double down on the quote you filled in, because I feel like I have more follow-up questions uh prepared, because I'm biased. Yeah. That's kind of my
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah.
point. So you forgive me. I'm excited. It's how do I put it? It's like when you tell a child that this is what we have for dinner, and you bring something nice, and you're like, no, that's what I want, and it's already in their head, like up there. That's this is what I already want. Okay, so can this poem, when did you? What was your first? Can you remember the first time you saw the poem or read the poem?
Well, I was made aware of this when I covered the first democratic elections in South Africa as a journalist, when somebody close to Mandela, who was in prison with Mandela, uh, Ahmed Kathrada, told me that Nelson Mandela loved poetry, and especially the classics. And then I saw this movie Invictus, which is a
Yeah,
story about South Africa winning the Rugby World
yeah,
Championships, and there's a scene where Mandela
uh,
um,
Morgan Freeman.
uh, gives a note to the rugby captain with this poem, and one of the key passages in that poem is. I'm the master of my destiny and captain of my soul. So even in the darkest of nights, which Mandela obviously faced in his many years in prison, um, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. And, so it's all about um, being the master of your thoughts.
Oh, can you share with us I, just one moment, right, where you kind of incorporate this idea, this phrase, this mantra into a situation or an occurrence in your life?
Well, I've had many times in my own life where I faced the situation of um, not knowing where to continue. I was on my second hike on the Camino in Spain, and at that time there was no Google Maps. You just had to follow waymarkers, and I missed a waymarker, and then I got lost in the Pyrenees mountains. And of course, in the Pyrenees mountains, you don't want to be there at night because you get to below freezing temperatures. And at the same time, there was a massive thunderstorm, and so I found a shelter in a grotto. But of course, I had no clue where I was, and then it got dark, and so I said, "Okay, just lead me." And I just kept on walking, and suddenly, between the trees, I noticed just the flicker of light, and it was a village down in the valley, and it came just at the right moment, because all I had to then do is to follow those lights and trace my way down to that village, and to make my way safely into that village. So especially the message to me then was, especially when you don't know when to continue, when things get really desperate and you want to give up, that is often the moment when you should be open to divine grace. That's when often the revelation comes.
Oh,
All you need is to trust that you are guided.
yeah. What would you say is a common misunderstanding that people get wrong about this this quote, and how would you clarify? Let's take a quick pause. If you're enjoying this conversation and want more thought-provoking ideas straight to your inbox, join the Relatable Wisdom email list. It's free, quick, and filled with bite-sized insights, inspiring quotes, and behind-the-scenes reflections from our guests. Just head to relatablewisdom.com/join. That is relatablewisdom.com/join, or tap the link in the show notes. And hey, subscribing to the podcast helps more than you think, and it's free. So if you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever you're listening. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
What people get wrong.
Yeah, the misinterpretation.
Well, I think what people mostly get wrong is that there is some external force, like a ruler, a politician, some person out there who's going to come and save you. This is why I think there's a lot of frustration with politics at the moment, because politics won't save you. And this is, again, what the message of the poem says. You are the master of your destiny, because irrespective of external circumstances, and this is what Mandela always tried to communicate, is even if you are in solitary confinement in a prison, you are still free with your own thoughts. Nobody can control your thoughts except you yourself.
Yeah. Wow.
And this, I think, made him survive prison. Because I met him a few times, especially I met him a few months after his release. And what really impressed me was his total lack of retribution, total lack of hate. He just had this vision of a future democratic society, and he realized, look, if I stay in hate, that is primarily going to affect me as a person.
Oh. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my destiny. Wow. Has your interpretation of this quote changed over the years, or especially as you?
Well, I've certainly often gone back to reading it, and I find a lot of parallels also to the great German poet Rainer Maria Rilke. I just memorized it in German, but basically one of his great poems is that he expresses great skepticism for thoughtless judgment by people out there, and that people generally tend to describe everything in fixed concepts.
I'm curious. What's the name of the poem?
Well, the poem is in German. Is I can't give you the English translation of it, but it's
is it Gedicht?
The poet is Rilke.
Yeah, I know Rainer Maria Rilke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm trying to pull out the exact poem so that we can just read it out for my listeners. That's why. So can you remember the title in German? So you just I just used that to search.
Just a minute.
Or the exact. I can't. Can I tap German? I can't.
The title in German is Ich fürchte mich so vor der Menschenwort.
Can you spell that, please?
I fear so much for the word of man.
I fear so much.
I fear so much for the word of man.
The word of man.
And the message in that poem is the danger of thinking in fixed concepts. Like we all fall into that trap. We say a person is is an angry person, or he's this or that. But we all know deep down that every individual has so many nuances and so many facets. And I think the danger of our world today is that we lose the feeling for nuance,
Yeah.
for the gray in between. We say this is the truth, or this is not the truth. But in reality, and this is the problem with news media, there are so many nuances to the truth. One's truth doesn't mean it's someone else's truth. And often what is made out to be true, we find out later, well, that wasn't true. Not at all. The opposite was the truth. And of course, especially in the world of social media today, the truth is made into the falsehood. The falsehood is made into the
Yeah.
truth. I think that is really the big danger we're living in
Yeah.
today.
Wow. If for I will be in a short while we'll talk about your, but I just want us to step back a bit, right? For the quote you shared with us, and that is the Victor's quote. If someone wanted to start applying that today, right? They wanted to start applying that today, not tomorrow, not over time. They wanted to start living by this where do they start? What's the one thing, the first step you'd recommend them to?
I think we should really become more aware of our intuition. And I know women are far stronger at this than men, but I think intuition is really a powerful force, and um, the intuition is something that we only feel when we are connected. And I would always recommend the first step is spend more time in nature. Go for a walk in nature. Look at nature. Look at a tree. Look at a flower. Look at a butterfly. Become aware that you are just one small part in a huge universe. And then things start shifting. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, take a walk in nature and become aware of your senses, your sight, your auditory senses, and how you react to the wind blowing into your face. That gives you the feeling of aliveness.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You mentioned you wrote a book. What's the book? What's the title of the book, and what's the book of?
My latest book is Sages, Saints, and Sinners, which was inspired during COVID when we were in lockdown here in
Is the
Spain.
book there with you?
And
Can you
yes,
just hold it
here
out
it
for the
is.
camera? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So plays in the 14th century because I did some research and I found that there were many parallels to the COVID lockdown and to the bubonic plague in the 14th century. Both pandemics came very suddenly and changed the world completely. If I take you back on a journey to medieval times, there was a clear hierarchy. The Pope, the King, the landlord. There were the landowners, and then there were the people working for the landowners. And the bubonic plague changed the whole social order. It also changed the church because in the beginning, what did the church do? The church said, well, the plague is a punishment from God for sinful behavior. But then after time, everyone realized, well, that can't be true because the plague is killing everyone, including the priests, the good people, the bad people. It's killing everyone. So people started questioning the order of things. and it changed the whole of society for centuries. In much the same way, COVID has changed our society in many ways, because what we're seeing in fanaticism and extremism in the political world at the moment is a result of the fears people had collectively during COVID. So the story, Sages, Saints, and Sinners, is embedded in a love story, and the two get separated because Isabel, one of the protagonists, is forced by her father to marry a very much older man, and then, of course, flees into a convent and becomes a nun. And her lover, Geronimo, is sent into slavery by her father. And the two separately go through the trials and tribulations of the bubonic plague at the time. She serves in a convent, and the protagonist Geronimo eventually gets freed from slavery, and then works for a Jewish merchant. And of course, the Jewish merchant eventually gets killed by a mob during the plague, and of course he's again alone, and eventually, of course, without revealing too much of the story,
I was about to say that.
there is a there is a happy ending. I can reveal this much, but of course, the message I try to convey in this book is that even in the worst of times, that there is hope, and the obstacles we face in life just make us more resilient, make us stronger. They make us stronger. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Reino. Where can my listeners learn more about you and connect with you, and then check out the...
Well, quite easy. All you have to do is go into the Google search and put in my name, and you will find my name.
Can you just say your name out loud and probably spell it out loud for those that are listening?
It's Reino Gevers, Reino Gevers, Reino, and Gevers, Gevers, and you'll find my webpage, reinogevers.com, and you'll find my YouTube channel and my podcast, and you can connect with me there. And of course, you can find my books everywhere where books are sold. Just message me, connect with me. That's the easiest way.
I'll be sure to add all the links in the description and show notes so people can just click and go directly to the site. Thank you so much, Reino, for sharing your favorite quotes.
Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute delight chatting. You've been listening to Relatable Wisdom, and I've been your host, Wisdom Okonkwo. You've been listening to the podcast where every story, quote, and insight helps you see life a little differently. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show on your favorite podcast app and share it with someone who loved the conversation. For more inspiring voices and timeless wisdom, visit relatablewisdom.com. Until next time, keep living, learning, and collecting wisdom that matters most to you.